Jeremy Nulick, editor of St. Louis Small Business Monthly. I'm here today at the St. Louis Business Expo and the St. Charles Convention Center, and I'm joined by Ed Mayuga. Ed is a partner and husband at AMM Communications. Thanks for coming out today, Ed.
Thanks, Jeremy. This has been a wonderful event.
What's been wonderful about it? Tell me about it.
Well, actually, the reason I'm here is not only to network with great people here in St. Charles and across the St. Louis area, but I was actually one of the presenters on social media marketing, which I think we're going to be discussing during this interview.
Gosh, I hope so.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit more specifically, what was your topic inside of social media?
Well, my topic was do-it-yourself social media marketing. We're all small businesses here, and being public relations marketing of St. Louis consultant, which is what we call our business and our brand, we consider ourselves unemployed until we get our next contract.
Okay.
And we get all of our business through networking. If you're a small business like us, just starting out, and you want to build a network, and you want to get referrals, the best way to do it is through social media in conjunction with your website.
You know, I mean, business owners I talk to, there's a few schools of thought when it comes to social media, and they're all over the place, which I'm sure you've heard.
Right.
But you know, some of them are just wary of the whole thing only because it just seems like this gorilla that's out there. You know, there's always something new. They don't know how to keep up. You know, so what advice do you have for business owners when they're taking a look at their marketing spend, and then somebody comes along, or somebody they hired is younger and says, we should do social media.
Right.
What does that mean, do social media? You know, like where should they start? What advice do you have for them?
Well, the biggest misconception about social media is that you have to be on all networks 24/7 all the time, and you have to out-message your competitor. And you always have to be out there, you always have to be promoting things. No, you don't. What we recommend is start with one platform. And usually that platform, for business people, we recommend LinkedIn. And the reason we recommend LinkedIn is because it's something you can control yourself. You can fill out your profile however you want. You can list your grade school, your high school, which is very important in St. Louis, what university you went to. You can list all these things, and you can do it yourself. A lot of companies that we work with are also under the misconception that in order to hire someone to do social media, they need to get someone straight out of college.
Yeah, that's the idea, right? Only people on social media are young people, right?
Yeah, they're only young, you know, might have a few tattoos, a few earrings, things like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Sure.
You know, I mean, those people are creative too, but being a business owner, being a small business owner, the best way to take control and fully understand it is to just dabble in it yourself.
Okay.
And just see what people are doing on LinkedIn. You'll be surprised at how many people within your network, maybe your religious institution, your school, former places of work are on LinkedIn. And you can grow organic connections from there. And a great example I have is I put what school I went to in second grade, which is Mason Ridge School.
You put that on your LinkedIn?
I put that on my LinkedIn.
That's not something you usually put on a resume, but you're saying on LinkedIn you put down your second grade school.
Right. I put down my second grade school, and because of that, I've connected with a variety of people, and it's led to other connections that have brought business in the door.
Your second grade school, that's cultivated business for you.
Cultivated business, second grade, sixth grade, you know. St. Louis is big on high schools. If you don't have your high school here, if you went to St. Charles, or if you went to, you know, Fort Zumwalt, one of those places, I would encourage you to put that on there, because that is a great way of gaining new connections, your alumni group. Because if you're like me, over 40, we're in the prime earning years, allegedly. We have our own companies. We've risen in the middle management positions, decision-making positions. You can connect with those people. Invite them to a cup of coffee.
Right.
And, you know,
and they're at that point in their careers too, where they're at that money-making part, so it's just ripe for it. No, you talked a little bit about tying it to your website. What does that look like? What does that mean, tying social media to your website?
Well, if you look at social media and your website as a hub and spoke, the hub being your website, That is where you put all your product information. It's where you put the contact form, your phone number, what you specialize in, the core of your brand. 3 to 5 things about your brand that you want people to know. Then radiating out from that are your social media networks. So you have LinkedIn, you have Facebook, you have blogging, you have Twitter, and you have YouTube. I always start with the basic 5, or what I call the big 5. And you start with LinkedIn, you put that you're the owner of the company or middle management or whatever, and then you also set up a company page that promotes your elevator speech, the 3 to 5 things about your company brand that you want them to know about. People will start following you. They'll also start following your company. And from LinkedIn, since you can put 3 websites on there, it's all interlinked organically. Your website is the first place they'd click on. Go to your website, that drives traffic. And the more traffic that you drive, the higher your search engine optimization, the more keywords.
Right.
So it all ties in together.
It all kind of ties in together.
All ties in together, yes. It's a hub and spoke.
Right.
The hub being your website.
So what's, can you give me a specific example of some people that you've worked with? That you kind of you gave them this gospel truth about social media and what it can do, and how it's really helped them?
Yes. Well, the best example that I can use is my own example, starting AMM Communications. AMM Communications started in 2008 with my wife, Anne-Marie, and myself. And back then, we had both been downsized from large companies, and we had this great idea that we were going to start a public relations firm that focused on financial institutions in the summer of 2008.
Why financial institutions?
Well, because that was the core of our business.
Right.
So by October 2008, in the depths of the financial crisis, we realized, okay, if we stay on this path, we're going to starve.
Sure.
And we had both dabbled in the social media, then we realized, well, just because we're in tough economic times doesn't mean that companies are going to cut their marketing budgets, and public relations fall into that. So when we first started with our website, which I created myself, I did it using WordPress blog, we were on page 20. If you typed in public relations of St. Louis, we showed up on page 20.
Right.
Now,
might as well not have shown up at page 20.
I mean,
right.
No one's going to scroll down. That is the biggest thing. People do not scroll anymore.
Right.
They want to be above the fold, meaning in the first 5 results of Google. So now, if you Google public relations St. Louis, AMM Communications shows up 4th.
Wow.
We're behind Fleshman Hillard.
And you're saying that and Fleshman Hillard, which is a national...
It's the largest PR firm
company
in the world.
Right.
In the world.
In the world.
Here in St. Louis.
And you're just right behind them.
We're right behind them.
Right. And you're saying it was mostly, or all, to do with social media, your presence in social media, driving traffic to your site.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And the way that we did it is we figured out what the 3 to 5 things about our brand we wanted people to know, and that's public relations marketing of St. Louis, Missouri. We put that out on all our social media profiles. Everything that we ever released, any of the press releases on my speaking engagement here, for instance, Enterprise University, the various things that we do, all had that tagline on them.
Excellent.
So because of that keyword frequency, building backlinks. Backlinks are the currency of the web.
Okay.
The higher number of backlinks that you have, the higher your web ranking will be. Because we put out thousands and thousands of these pages, we've raised our organic search ranking. So we didn't have to pay 1 red cent for it, whereas some
you
other
didn't have to go to
companies
an SEO firm and have them figure that out or crack the code on it or
Well,
anything.
actually, I do take a lot of one person that I highly recommend, Will Henke, Where's My Business. I take his SEO classes, and I learned about organic on-page SEO.
Oh, okay.
But from the off-page SEO, I learned that from just putting out the press releases, and that's how social media can help, being the spokes that lead back to the website.
Excellent. Well, Ed, if people want to learn more about you and AMM Communications and social media, how do they find you? Where do they go?
To contact me, if you want to type in Public Relations St. Louis, we'll show up on the first page under Featured Public Relations Marketing of St. Louis, Missouri. Otherwise, just go to ammcommunications.com.
All right. Ed, thanks for coming out today and sharing so many insights about
Thank you, Jeremy. Always wonderful to see you in your cowboy boots.
Always wonderful to see you as well.